Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and it's been a while since I did a Civivi knife video, so I thought I better do one on some of their new knives. I've got these three here that I'll be showing you, but I also wanted to go back to something I told you about before. This is the Civivi Modern Hunter, and yes, it's pretty disgusting. I gutted a couple of deer with this. I told you I was going to do that. I took it on a deer hunting trip, and in fact, it works amazing. It's a little unusual in its design. I did discover, yes, those are great traps for, well, debris. I haven't tried to even clean it, as you can see. In fact, this stuff's probably rock hard. It was a few weeks ago, but it works wonderfully, and I love this little thing here. I did put a little knot, so that's going to have to come off because it's certainly not sanitary. I've been waiting to make this video so I could then wash this thing. My saw did show up in a video, and I did that titanium saw, and that one was still covered with gristle, so I now cleaned that up. But thank you, Kyle Lamb, for designing this thing. I wish the handle was orange. That would make a big difference because I did, you just use stuff and then you drop it because you're working, holding heavy weight or whatever while you're trying to cut through things. But anyway, get that thing out of there. So here they are. The first one I'm going to start with, this is a revisit to the Pyrus. This was designed by Outlaw Muk. It's a wonderful little knife. It's you do need to pay attention using it, but it isn't as bad as it looks as far as safety, because if you're cutting, you'd have to push on the back of the blade for this to go in, but notice your thumb's right there, so you are the lock, but it's easy to learn to hold it and use it. This is one I did a video on earlier. I took the pocket clip off. I mentioned that. This is what it looks like on, but this has gone all over the place with me. I mean, all over the place. It's just a wonderful little knife. But this one was also carbon fiber. They made this a little bit more accessible. The price on this guy is going to be around street price, under $30 for G10 scales. The design of this, well, you can see right there, the Outlaw Muk. The design of this is pretty sweet when you start using it. It does have a locking mechanism, so it can't deploy on its own right there. Somehow, by pushing the little lever here. You can see the blade steel on this is 14C 28N, plenty good for this use. I'm going to try it more with the pocket clip, but instead I really like having this in other locales, but that would allow you to clip it to something. It's really kind of reminiscent of this old, this is an O knife. This guy here is a D2 steel. They called it the Claw. I don't know if they're available, or Night Claw, but I love this thing. So when I saw, and even what I think is an update of it right here, whoops, I guess that's on, that's what I was trying to show you. That's really sweet. The only difference, this is in a locked open position. Why does that matter? Well, I'm wondering if a jurisdiction, if maybe this was questionable, if you happen to be caught with one, and if it's a locking knife, that may cause it to be, to violate some rule, where if it's not a locking knife, it just might be questionable. It's really so short, a lot of times penetration is what you're worried about, and it's not something that looks like a great fighting knife or something. But as far as if you attack a box with this, the box is going to lose. So anyway, there it is, the Pyrus in G10. From Outlaw Muk. Now, this one I'm going to call a kit knife. This guy here they're calling the Noctis. And it has the Nitro V blade, big flat grind there. I got it in yellow. It comes in a few different colors. This is a classic knife, and the reason I'm calling it a kit knife is in the old days there was a thing called a kit gun, and usually it was like a small revolver, often a 22, nothing fancy, nothing special, and you put it like in your tackle box for when you were fishing, or your day pack. It just went with you. It wasn't necessarily anything that was amazing, that you were super proud to show off. It was just a working, in this case, knife. The G10 scales, I've had colored G10 scales, and they can get dirty, but I like the bright colors. I could see this as a great camping knife. It is using that crossbar lock, which allows you to easily open or close it. Reversible pocket clip, I believe, looking at that indentation there. And it is, again, the Nitro V blade. Comes in at about 2.75 ounces. But this is the one I really like. This is the Outlaw Muk. And the Muk is just such a perfect name for it. And the designer is Trey Sprinkle, who's also known as the American Outlaw as a knife designer. And just a beautiful yin and yang expression. Now, it comes in different colors. This is the only one with that split color G10, which, by the way, I told you I thought that was really neat. Civivi was working with that, you know, dialing it in. I just noticed I got a new release alert from Benchmade, and they have knives where they're doing a lot of the split with G10. It's kind of neat. But this one's a lot more affordable, coming in at about $64 street price or less. It is a push button lock. It is using the 14C 28N steel. There you can see the American Outlaw logo on that with the blade steel. It fits great in the hand. I've been carrying it a while, and I do find I like this. It is kind of a traditional sort of a, you know, almost an Eastern flair. The Lum has the designer has made some Spydercos that had that kind of big, almost leaf shape on the front end, but then having not only, you know, the yin and the yang as far as the shape of the blade complementing each other, but also the black and the white. To me, that just took it to another level, and I'm sure that that had to be on their mind, you know, when they built this thing. Looking at it, it is a reversible pocket clip, but it is a flush mount, which is why I mentioned that indentation over here on the Noctis. But anyway, there it is, a little heavier. It comes in about 3 3/4 ounces, which still made it feel lighter than I thought it was going to be. You can see, obviously, skeletonized stainless steel liners, big lanyard hole there. Nice, solid pocket clip, and of course the standard cage ceramic bearings that Civivi uses. But a real simple but beautiful, elegant, fun to use flipper with push button lock. So I think this is a winner here. This is a kit knife, and this, I am not even going to try to tell you what to do with this. I know what I do with it, but your mileage may vary. Anyway, let me know your thoughts as usual. And with that, Doc out.